Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to talk about some very unfortunate news. Actor Sun-gyun from the hit movie Parasite has passed away of a confirmed suicide. He was found dead in a park in central Seoul by the police. And this is something that's been huge news in Korea. The background behind this death was that Sun-gyun was a famous actor doing well in his career up until a few months ago when the manager of a high-end brothel accused him of using drugs and cheating on his wife and gave his name to the police, who then in turn opened an investigation on the actor. And after that investigation opened up, basically his life went to hell. He was kicked off of an upcoming drama that he was supposed to shoot. His endorsements from companies were pulled, and his public image, which had been that of a good actor, but also a good family man who loved his wife and his two kids, was basically tarnished. And unfortunately, it seems like it got to the point here where he couldn't take it anymore and he decided to end his life. Now, there are reports of a letter that he had written to his wife, I believe, on his computer before he took his life. And the contents of that letter were actually released by one of the Korean media organizations. And the one thing I don't like so much about Korean society and Korean media is that they try to dig so deep into celebrities' personal lives and publish details about every little thing that shouldn't be out there, really. And unfortunately, what led to his suicide was also the fact that he was getting so much abuse online from judgmental people. I don't know if you've seen Korean press conferences, but when Lee Sung-gyun was summoned by the police for his misdeeds, they shoved a bunch of cameras in his face, a bunch of mics, took like hundreds of pictures, and just put on a whole show. That's what I like to call it. It's a show. Whenever a celebrity issue comes up in Korea, it becomes a media circus for the media to get, precious airtime, but also for people to watch them like there's some animals or product in a zoo. And that's something that's really disappointing. But the thing is, Lee Sung-gyun, who's a famous actor going to a high-end establishment, cheating on his wife, drinking, using drugs, isn't that surprising in the sense that celebrities, businessmen, politicians in Korea do that all the time. Okay, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your political affiliation. It doesn't matter how famous you are. A lot of people in the country who are in positions of power do that, okay? And it was reported that this mistress that had slept with Lee Sung-gyun and gave him the drugs had a list of powerful clients that would come to her establishment. But in the ensuing police investigation, it seems like was one of the only few people that were punished, or one of the only few people that had their names released to the public and dragged through the mud. Because I'm willing to bet, guys, that there's a lot of established people high up in whatever industry, whether it's politics or business, that also frequented that place but are being protected by some people. I don't know who, but some people in law enforcement who don't want to dig into their misdeeds because it's a lot easier to go after a celebrity. Now, what a lot of people are saying is that, okay, well, you broke the law, then you should be punished. But why are only celebrities being targeted? Why aren't people like some politicians, businessmen who also do that stuff? Why aren't their personal lives also being digged into? So some people think that it's kind of a smear campaign against a specific group of celebrities in order to maybe persecute a political enemy. Again, I'm not privy to this entire situation, but that's kind of what a lot of people in Korea have been talking about nowadays, is the fact that, okay, Lee Sung-gyun messed up. He's accused of doing this and that, but why are we dogpiling on him? Why are we condemning him so much? And the funny thing is, guys, in the ensuing police investigation, he, I believe, tested negative for drugs multiple times. The police brought him in for questioning. I believe he had one session that lasted for 19 hours. He got to the police station around 10 in the morning and then left at 5 a.m. the next day. So a lot of people were saying, was it really necessary to do all that just for, potentially smoking weed or using ketamine? Which, again, I get is a crime and you shouldn't do in Korea, but it's almost as if maybe we're going after the wrong people in society. Maybe we're not going after the real issues that we have in this country, like the wealth inequality, the lack of affordable housing, the low marriage and birth rate. It just seems like a circus where we're just trying to find the next public figure to bash on instead of finding real ways to solve the country. Because if somebody has a drug problem, okay, well, sure, punish them under the law, but also, try to get them help them rehab, help them integrate and become a better member of society than they were before. And it's very unfortunate that it got to a point where Lee Sun-gyun felt that he had to take his own life. Now, another thing about celebrity scandals in Korea that you guys might not know about. The more famous you are, the worse the consequences are for any potential mistakes you may make. What I mean by that is in Korea, if you're a very famous celebrity, chances are pretty good that you have signed an endorsement deal with a certain company to promote their products. When you sign that deal, there's a clause in that contract, like a morality clause or such, that stipulates if you do something in your personal life that tarnishes your image and therefore the image of my brand, then you will legally have to pay my company damages for quote unquote breaking this morality clause. And I believe that Lee Sun-gyun wrote in his suicide letter that he felt sorry to his company and his manager because of his scandal, that he and his company now have to pay out an exorbitant amount of money to the brands that he had endorsed in the past. So it's a really tight rope you have to walk, because it's nice if you get those endorsements because you make a lot of money from just shooting a few ads. But the flip side to it is if you're accused of something and quote unquote canceled, then you're screwed because you have to pay a lot of money in damages to the companies that had paid you before your fall from grace. And guys, it's very common for powerful, rich people to go to brothels, cheat on their wives, use drugs, gamble, do whatever they want, and do things that a normal Korean would shame them for and cancel them for, okay? And I'm not endorsing that kind of behavior or saying that it's something that they should do just because they can get away with it. But what I am saying is that we shouldn't just pick one person as a scapegoat and trash all over them, because this is a societal problem, okay? It's not just a entertainment problem. It's a problem of people in positions of power abusing their authority because they think the law doesn't apply to them. He committed a crime where he hurt the people in his life that he loves a lot, especially his wife, but he didn't distribute drugs to others. He didn't murder someone. He wasn't part of some active scheme to poison the country with drugs. He's just a guy who made some bad personal decisions, and while he probably should have been punished in some way for them, it didn't have to come to this. And I think the Korean media, and not all, but a good number of Korean netizens who love to pile on people whenever they make some kind of mistake in their personal life, have to think deep and hard about how they treat public figures that fall in their life, because at the end of the day, it really isn't our business. And we shouldn't throw stones living in glass houses. And my advice to you guys is, if you want to work in the industry here and work in entertainment, that's great. But always be cognizant of the toxic environment that can be present, and watch your back is what I'm saying, because this is the worst. This case is kind of emblematic of the ugly parts of society that we haven't fixed yet. And my condolences go out to his wife and children. He was honestly a great actor who gave us a lot of amazing roles in his time here. And I hope that for the sake of other creative people working in the industry, that the world would be a much kinder place to them. Not saying that we should absolve, huge crimes, but I'm saying just be nicer to one another, okay? So thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. And rest in peace, Sun-gyun.